Well, this video could age very poorly. Welcome back to another video of the Pacific Bin. So this has been one of my most requested videos, and that's how much I'm going to make listing my shipping container home on Airbnb. And if you haven't noticed, I just got glasses. My mom thinks they make me look smarter. Over the last couple months, since I bought the property, people have been asking me on Instagram and YouTube, how did you end up getting to the point where you felt comfortable enough making this decision, and how much do you think you're gonna make? How much is it gonna cost? And in this video, I'm breaking down both the bearish and the bullish case for the Pacific Bin. For those of you that don't know, the bear case is like stock market lingo for like the worst case that it could go, and the bull thesis is the best case scenario. Before I dive into this breakdown, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button down below, it really helps get my video out to more people, and also 90% of you aren't subscribed to my channel. So if you're interested in updates on the Pacific Bin and how it's going, and just all the ins and outs of building an Airbnb from scratch, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button so you get notified every time I post a new video. I also respond to every single comment on this YouTube channel. Be sure to drop a comment down below if you want to see a specific kind of video or think I said something wrong in this video. Let me know. I'd love to chat with you guys, and it's been really cool getting to know all you guys so far. So before we dive into the more technical side of this, I got to give you guys an overview of what the Pacific Bin actually is. So the Pacific Bin is a 5 shipping container home that's going to be about 1,600 square feet. It's going to have 3 bedrooms. There will be a master bedroom, 2 smaller bedrooms, one with a full-size bed and one with bunk beds, so there'll be 4 total beds, and it should be able to sleep about 8 people. It'll be between 6 and 8, I'm not 100% sure yet. The home is going to be located about an hour away from Seattle in Sultan, Washington, just off of Highway 2 for those of you that know the Washington region. One of the questions that I get asked the most about the bin is how much I think it's going to cost. As of right now, I'm projecting the bin to cost around $560,000 all in. That's property costs, utilities, home built, everything. If you guys want a breakdown of my budget, drop a comment down below. Just let me know if you do want to see something like that, and I'll get working on the budget breakdown video. All right, now that you know generally what I'm planning on building, I'm going to do a bear case breakdown, and this is going to be the worst case scenario. It's just, it doesn't get booked out. It's not going for the rates that I wanted. So I built this spreadsheet that breaks down your cost per night, your percent occupancy, and has a whole bunch of other factors involved with listing an Airbnb. And the spreadsheet pretty much spits out what my net income, or like what my take home will be that I put in my pocket every year after all the expenses, property tax, and everything. I know a lot of you are interested in also building your own unique stays and cool Airbnb listings. So I've put this spreadsheet down below in the description for you guys to download and plug in your own numbers and run your own financial analysis on a potential build. Before I could just start plugging numbers into the spreadsheet aimlessly, saying I was gonna get $1,000 per night at 100% occupancy rate, I sort of had to do an analysis of the area that I'm going to be listing the Airbnb in, as well as similar types of homes, other container homes, and what they are getting listed for and what their occupancy rates are. After digging through the listings on Airbnb in the Sultan, Washington area, a comparable size home gets around $300 per night, and it's about at a like 70 to 90% occupancy rate. My next step was to find comparable homes in Washington that aren't just run-of-the-mill homes being listed on Airbnb for people to stay at, but they're more experience type homes. Like the Pacific Bin is going to be an experience staying there. You have the hot tub with the beautiful master bedroom that looks out over the forest, and this amazing wooded deck that looks out over the fire pit, and it's going to be an experience to stay there. One of the homes that I landed on was the Mount Baker Huga house. Huga. I don't know how to say it. It's this really cool one that just listed on Airbnb in the last month or 2 and is absolutely killing it. It's a really cool home design. So right now their average cost per night is $376, and the Huga house, or this, we're gonna call it the cabin up at Mount Baker, it sleeps 4 people and has 1 bathroom. So hopefully, because the bin sleeps 6 to 8 people, we should be able to charge a little bit more of a premium. And all of those experience type homes I found in Washington, generally go around $100 more than the average homes in those areas, just because it is that experience. My next step was to find other container homes throughout the United States and sort of get a feel for what that premium is that you can charge on Airbnb for these experience type container homes. And of course, I landed on Seth and Emily's Box Hop out in Hocking Hills. An absolutely stunning home is one of the reasons why I got into the whole container home build route in the first place. And they charge about $468 a night. After spending a couple months combing through listings, I had a pretty good feel of what I would be able to charge for not only the area that I'm in, but also for the type of experience that I'm offering on Airbnb. All right, now to jump into the bear case. So we'll hop into the spreadsheet here. My worst case scenario would be charging $275 a night at a 65% occupancy rate, which works out to be about $5,500 a month. So that works out to be a gross revenue of about $65,000 a year. Now that doesn't take into account any of the property taxes or any of the miscellaneous expenses to replace and fix and just maintain the bin. But if you do subtract those off, which it's all broken out in the spreadsheet for you here if you want to dive more into it, after subtracting off the property taxes and all that extra stuff I just talked about, my net income comes to about $53,000 a year. And that's putting $53,000 into my pocket every year. Now, granted, that $53,000 isn't just like, boom, go play money. Of course, I'm gonna be paying off my line of credit as soon as possible to get back to a debt-free state. So in the worst case scenario, my return on investment turns out to be about 10.5 years, which in real estate terms, that's incredible. A 10.5 year return on investment. That pretty much means that the whole thing would be paid off after about 10.5 years, and that all of that money that it's throwing off just goes right into my pocket. All right, now we get into the fun part. This is the bull case estimate. This is where everything goes well. Bin blows up on social media. I'm booked out for a year solid, just rates are sky high, everything's going great. So in my bull case estimate, I assumed a 95% occupancy rate at $490 a night. Now this $490 a night at 95% occupancy rate isn't unrealistic. I've been talking to some homeowners that have done very similar things, and these are legitimate numbers. This is if the home blows up on social media, which we recently have been. I have an Instagram reel that has almost 1 million views. It's so wild. You guys are like, okay, just shut up and tell me the number. So at those two levels, that pencils out to be about $14,000 a month or $169,000 per year gross revenue, which it doesn't even feel like a real number to be saying. With a return on investment at about 3.5 years, which is, I mean, that's like Dogecoin crypto levels, like just, okay, not quite that high, but it's really freaking good. All in all, after running those numbers, I figured it's a no-brainer to do this. I just had to find the right lot and build the right team, which it's really cool seeing that happen. For the most up-to-date information on where the bin is at in the construction process, which we're about 8 to 10 weeks out from getting a building permit, fingers crossed everything goes well, you can follow along on The Pacific Bin on Instagram. Recently I just had a reel blow up and it has 900,000 views on it, and I'm up to it's like 9,000 followers almost, which is just wild seeing this level of support so early in the project. So thank you guys so much. I mean, the YouTube following has almost doubled. I had 565 subscribers on YouTube in the last video, and now we're coming up on 800. Like, it's just so cool to see this level of support. Anyways, if you guys have any future video suggestions, drop them in the comments below. Say hi, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.